essential question. What are ways to compare numbers to 120? Our lesson objective, this is a review from yesterday. I can use a hundredths chart to find 1 more, 1 less, 10 more, and 10 less. We have a anchor chart. So this is where our main number is. It says game on. The number is 30. See that? Let's try a different color. The number is 36. If you go to the left, it gives you 1 less. 1 less than 36 is 35. If you go 1 more, you get, I'll give you a second at home to think about it. 36 plus 1 gets you 37. When you're looking at your hundreds chart, if you go to the number above, that is minus 10. So 36 minus 10, all you have to do is change that tens digit is 26. If you're looking at your hundreds chart and you need 10 more, you look below. So 36 plus 10, you look at that 10, you increase it by 1, gives us 46. That is how you use your plus sign while you're doing plus 1, minus 1, plus 10, minus 10. Our global awareness. All around the world, children are preparing for the upcoming holidays. In Australia, Christmas comes in towards the beginning of the summer holidays. Children have their summer holidays from mid-December to early February. Australians hang wreaths on their front doors and sometimes go out and sing Christmas carols on Christmas Eve. People decorate their houses and gardens with Christmas trees and Christmas lights. When Santa gets to Australia, he lets the reindeer have a rest and he uses kangaroos to pull his sled instead. He uses kangaroos. That's interesting. So our problem says John saw 25 carolers on his front porch. Complete the part of the hundreds chart. So if my number is 25 and I need to figure out what plus 1 is, 25 plus 1, 26. 25 minus 1, 24. 25 minus 10. I'm going to look at that tens digit and decrease it by 1, 10. 15. And 25 plus 10, I'm going to look at that tens digit and increase it by 1, 10, giving me 35. When you have a hundreds chart at home, it's very, very helpful when you're working with plus 1, minus 1, plus 10, minus 10. So we're going to do the video first, and then we'll come back to the review.
Hi, and welcome to today's first grade flipped classroom video. Today's video is talking about finding 10 more than a number or 10 less than a number using a 100 chart. If you take a look at my 100 chart, you will see that I have highlighted the number 45. If I wanted to find what 10 less than 45 would be, I could use my 100 chart and simply count back 10 squares. Let's try that. Starting at 45, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 less than 45 would be 35. If I wanted to count and find out what 10 more than 45 would be, I could use the very same process, except this time I would count forward instead of backward. Let's try that. Starting at 45, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more than 45 would be 55. Take a minute and look at that. See if there's something you notice. You may notice that 35, which is 10 less than 45, is right above 45 on the 100 chart. And that 55, which is 10 more than 45, is right below 45 on the 100 chart. This pattern, or this trick, can help you to use the 100 chart to find what 10 more than a number or 10 less than a number would be. Let's use tens and ones blocks to help us check our work. If you look at the number 45, 4 is in the tens place, meaning that there are 4 tens. So if I wanted to know what 10 less than 45 would be, I would take away a 10. Now that there's 3 tens, that would be 35, just like when I used the 100 chart and counted back and got 35. If I wanted to check what 10 more would be, I would have to add another 10. 5 tens and 5 ones is 55, just like on the 100 chart when it told us that 55 was 10 more than 45. Let's look at 77 on the 100 chart. See if you can find what 10 less would be. 10 less than 77 would be 67. You could have gotten that by counting back 10 or by using the 100 chart to help you using our trick going right above the 77, showing us that 10 less would be 67 because 67 has 6 tens and 77 has 7 tens. Let's see if we can use the 100 chart to tell us what 10 more than 77 would be. Go ahead, take a guess. You should have said that 87 would be 10 more than 77. So if I'm looking at the number 77 on my 100 chart, 67 would be 10 less, and 87 would be 10 more. Let's try it with the number 28. What would be 10 less than 28? Figure it out. If you said 18, then you're correct. Now, let's think about what 10 more would be. Using what we learned about the 100 chart, what would 10 more than 28 be? Write that number on your homework sheet. That's the end of this flipped classroom video. Tomorrow, we will talk more about 10 more and 10 less.
Okay, so let's do our review. It says there are 7 bushes in the garden. Each bush has 10 flowers. How many flowers are in the garden? All in all. So in order to figure that out, you're going to count your tens by 10. You're going to count them by 10 in order to figure out what your answer is. So I would say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Tina catches 23 fireflies. Pablo catches 10 less than Tina. How many fireflies does Pablo catch? So if we have that, we have 23. So we need to go minus 10. Our smartboard marker is being a little funky. Minus 10. So 23 minus 10. We are taking this number and we're taking 1 away. So we have 13. Bobby has 38 books. Count the tens and ones, then write the numbers. So it says 38 is blank tens and blank ones. If you already know without counting the tens and ones, great. Go ahead and write it. Those of you guys looking at this at home, I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and come up with your answer. Bobby has 38 books. Count the tens and ones. So 38 is blank tens. 1, 2, 3. And how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 38 is 3 tens and 8 ones. The first example we're going to do together, let me see if I can move. There we go. complete the part of the hundredths chart, use place value blocks if needed. So when I use a hundredths chart to do this, I like to go ahead and put my plus sign around the number so that I can see exactly what I need to do. So I like to put the magic number in the middle in a different color. And then around it, I use a different color to give me all the numbers that I need. So if I needed to know plus 1, this is plus 1. 25 plus 1 would be 26. Using it like this is just a shortcut. So 25 minus 10, I'm going to look above 25, minus 10 would give me 15. 25 minus 1. If I want to do 25 minus 1, I look to the left. 25 minus 1 is 24. And last but not least, 25 plus 10, I'm going to look below and add 10. 25 plus 10 is 35. So this plus sign over here looks exactly like the plus sign that I have on my hundredths chart. The hundredths chart is an extra reference to help you if you need it. If you can do these in your head, great. But this hundredths chart is there to help you. Use a hundredths chart to complete each sentence. 1 more than 67 is. So our magic number is 67. So I'm going to put a box in one color around the number 67. And then with another color, I'm going to come back and I'm going to draw my plus sign around those other numbers. So 1 more than 67, I'm going to go to the right. 1 more is 68. 1 less than. When I'm doing less, I'm going to the left. They both start with an L, so that's how I remember it. 67 minus 1 is 66. 10 more than 67. When I have more, I need to go below. So 10 more than 67 would be 77. And 10 less than 67 would be 57. So using the hundredths chart as a guide and drawing your plus sign could really help you. You have an example that you can work through at home. Today's question, how do you find the number that is 1 more, 1 less, 10 more, and 10 less on a hundredths chart? You can either record yourself answering by using the microphone tool, or you can write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Your Envisions pages for today are pages 503 to 506. Make sure you complete it all completely and not